What's up, Terror Squad? It's Solar. Hope you're having a sunny day. Actually, don't have a sunny day today. It is Halloween weekend. Have a very gray, spooky, scary skeleton day. Or however you celebrate. Yeah, happy holidays, hoes. Though I do want to know, put it in the comments, are you dressing up for Halloween? I love that shit. I love costumes. It's like my favorite like time of year, honestly. And my birthday's right around the corner. Scorpio vibes, whatever. Either way, I come to you today dressed as not a sexy devil, but a very cozy demon. I got my little sweater on, I got my slides on. It's all good. Got the horn. They are cricket. They are definitely cricket. Oh my God, why'd I do this to myself? Now I'm not gonna be able to unsee it. I don't want to take them off either. What is gonna happen? Okay, let's just pretend that I just partied really hard. Okay, this is like hangover demon vibes. They're fine. They're fine. Don't look at me. Sorry. It's gonna bother me this entire time now. I'm not gonna fix it. I'm not gonna take it out. Nope. This is all right. This is straight. This is what normal looks like. Either way, all right. So, hi. I want to get straight into the video. I don't want to bore you guys with the whole like, oh, this is where I've been, this is what I've been doing. No, I've been doing great, god damn it. Anyway, and I hope you have been too, honestly, truly. Either way, I've shot this video like 3 different times and I was not satisfied with the final result. And I think a big part of that is because I haven't really told this story to anybody. I told one person, actually 2 people now, because I told my bestie that I was making this video. But either way, like the actual story, I've only told like once. And oh yeah, I'm rude. This is Luna. She is my emotional support stuffed animal for the day because like it's rough out here in these streets. So anyways, yeah, mild disclaimer, like I am gonna have to touch on like just briefly like my mental state and things that I was going through at the time. So if you don't want to hear like some brief childhood trauma, whatever, like, maybe you should click off. Because at this point in time, it was kind of rough. And again, we're going to get into it. No foreplay. I'm just going boom, boom, boom. All right. So, how old was I even? I don't even think I was 12 yet. No. This was like circa 2004, something like that. I remember being really into Little John and the East Side Boys and the Yin Yang Twins. So that's like circa 04, right? Yeah. Okay. All right. So, okay, everybody get in the time machine. Let's go back. All right, strap up. Like, woo. All right, we made it. Okay, so it's like circa 04. So I was like maybe like 8 or 9. I don't know. Either way. And I was going through it. My stepdad at the time, who was like, if I'm being honest, like he was a better father figure for the majority of my life, more than like my dad actually was, as far as like being involved and being like just a consistent parent. But yeah, so he started using drugs, so that was kind of traumatizing to the family because it went from like this is captain, this is like the guy, and then goes from like this pedestal to like now we're chasing him around, finding him in different crack houses. Just little hood things, I guess. Like I couldn't walk to the corner store with my friends without getting embarrassed because he's there begging for change, just little things like that. That was going on. My dad, I don't, like, there's shit going on there. It was just a lot. It was like my whole family household was chaotic. My older sister, she had moved with her father because her and my mom kept getting into it, and it was so many things happening. I also at the time felt like I was very much so in that passive unaliving myself state, to where it was just like sometimes I would wake up crying because I was like, shit, still alive. Like little girly things like that. So I was just very like, I was low-key, high-key depressed, but growing up in the 2000s, and then I had my stepdad, but my mom for the most part was single mom. Fucking like my grades were all at this point, because my grades didn't really start slipping into high school, but either way, so like my grades were still good. So it's like, you know how that shit goes. It's like if you get a good grade, like your parents don't really give a shit. It's like, oh, you're fine, everything's fine. Like the second you come home bringing anything lower than like a C, it's just like, what the fuck is going on with you? But like, yeah. So I kind of just kept a lot of stuff bottled up, especially because like I know it wasn't about to get resolved. Like, I don't know, I'm like, this is just gonna add to all the pressure. Like I just, at that time, like my entire household and like world for like those couple of years was like a pressure cooker. And I was just really tired of it. Again, it was just like, you know, I just passed by, like, you know, if I'm walking across the like bridge on a freeway or something with like my friends or whatever, I'm just thinking of like throwing myself over, like that type shit. And sorry if I'm saying it too casual for some of you people, but like, sorry, I've healed from that moment, from those times, but like, you know, I've been to therapy, I've seen counselors, all this shit. So like, I don't want you guys to be like, oh my God, are you okay? Bitch, no, I'm not okay. But yes, I'm okay from that. Because again, this happened when I was like 9. So either way, I was hanging out at at my like little neighborhood park with my friends, right? And so they were about to do like a hood trip to this other spot, and I couldn't go. Like my mom didn't really like let me go outside of like the different lots in our neighborhood. So and I was just like, we already kind of going through, I'm like, she's gonna beat my ass. She's gonna come out here looking for me. I mean, raise your hand. I had the fear of ass beating just like hovering over me for most, actually to this day. Anyway, so yeah, I'm like, yeah, you guys go ahead. I'll just like stay here until it's time for me to go home. I didn't have to be home. Like, you know, most of us, you know, the street lights come on, that's when you dash home. So I was just like, I'll just be out, because I'm like, I did not want to be inside. Like I didn't even, the friends that I say that I had and I was hanging out with during this time, them bitches didn't even like me. And maybe the feeling was a little bit mutual. Like I always have like respect and like love just for people, but like they weren't great. And I was just, I don't know, it was just kind of like circumstances, you know, we all just grew up here, so we all hang out, but like the hoes didn't like me. Like I just would say like random things and they would get irritated. I don't know, just like, you know, questioning life and stuff. And it's just like, why are you questioning life? You're like 9, like chill out. And I'm like, okay, I guess, you know, do your thing. I don't know, like whatever 9 to 12-year-olds like wanted to do at the time. They used to throw crab apples at cars. That's how we passed the time. Yeah. Or they passed the time, because if I did that, my mom would beat my ass. So either way, I was just always kind of a weirdo, and it's fine. Having said all that, so they decided to go like do the little hood hopping day or whatever, and I was just like, I'm just stay at the park. So I'm at the park and I'm swinging, and I'm just thinking of like, I told you, like I had passive thoughts of unaliving myself, but at this point in time I was like actively making plans, and I was making backup plans for those plans, just in case type deal. And all of a sudden, like I don't even remember seeing this guy walk up, right? He just appeared out of nowhere, and I just like, because I'm like looking down at the ground or whatever, and I look up and there's just this whole ass nigga just in front of my face. Sorry, he was an upstanding gentleman, but still. And there's this grown ass man. Why did I say that? No, he was probably like 12 at the like oldest. I don't know. I'm gonna call him Dustin. I don't know why, but we're just gonna call him Dustin. So yeah, I see Dustin and he's just like, hey, how are you? I'm just like, hey, what's up? How's it going? You know, just casual conversation. And I'm just like, oh, are you like, who are you? Like, I've never seen you here. Like, I'm the outside kid. Like, and my mom was like hood mom, so she knew everybody, right? And so I'm like, but I don't know you though. So who are you? Like, where you stay? Where your grandmama stay? Where you from, my nigga? Fuck who you know. Where you from? Not really, but also a little bit. So he's like, yeah, no, I grew up here. And I'm just like, you grew up here, but I grew up here and I've never seen you. So what you mean? Like, what's good? And he's just like telling me like, oh, well, no, my cousins stay on this side. Which side are you from? I'm like, oh, I'm from this side. And because we had different lots. I'm trying not to put too much detail in it because I feel like it'd be weird if I'm just like, yeah, I grew up in so-and-so projects in Detroit. And you can just, I don't know, strange. So Either way, so he's from like the whole other side of the hood, and I'm just like, okay, maybe that's why I haven't seen you, because like my mom let me go within like the proximity, but sometimes she's like, don't go like past. She'll be like, don't go past the park, and then his spot is like past the park or some shit like that. You know what I mean? So yeah. Either way, so uh, where was I? Oh yeah, so he's like, why didn't you like leave with your friends? And I was just like, because my mom like wouldn't let me do that, da da da. And he's just like, oh, so you actually like respect your parents? And I'm just like, sometimes, even though I feel like they don't really respect me, like this conversation literally turned into like an after school special type shit or whatever. Because then when I tell you, I just started like unloading on this man. Why I keep calling him a man? He was like 12 years old. All right, let's not do that. Let's not adultify children. But either way, like I think my perception was very warped at the time because again, like I'm younger, right? And he was like a little bit taller anyway. And then like the amount of wisdom that he just like dropped on me, I was just like, oh no, like you gotta be like 15 or something. It was ridiculous. I'm sorry. So anyway, yes, give me some love, Luna. I need it. All right. So where was I? Yeah, so he's like saying like, oh well that's good because like your friends don't really like, some of them aren't, pretty much just, saying like, they're a product of their environment. I'll just put it like that. You know what I mean? And I'm like, yeah, I get that, but it's like I'd rather be outside than be in the house. And so if I have to be outside hanging out with people that like don't like me, then so be it. Because I'm like, nobody likes me anyway. I barely like myself. Like um and I didn't tell him that I was like thinking about like unaliving myself at the time, but he just brought it up and he's just like, yeah, you don't need to be having these type of thoughts. You don't need to be doing this. You don't need to be da da da. It's just like the okay, it's just weird because like he was saying like kind of general things of like, no, like you're great, you're beautiful, you're this, you're that, and that. Because like, I'm going through like an ugly duckling phase. I feel like I just had an ugly duckling life for a while, just a couple years, like solid, like maybe 10 years was just very rough. But either way, so then he starts kind of getting a little bit specific with certain things, and I'm not saying like he was just like, oh, you're gonna be 27 years old telling this story on YouTube, because YouTube didn't even exist at the time, but like just I don't want to give too much detail because it's kind of, I told you, like I've never told this story before, so it's kind of nerve-wracking. Anyway, either way, so he gets kind of specific about like little details in my life, and I'm just like, okay, yeah, I guess I'll listen to that, whatever, da da da. And at some point, I just remember we had made eye contact because again, like I'm not really looking at him or whatever, and then I'm swinging and I'm looking down on the ground. I'm depressed. There's a time in my life where I didn't like look anybody in the eye for real, just because it would give me like so much anxiety and like so much like I would cry like and I didn't like tell nobody for real, like I didn't tell like my family or nothing. Like I don't really think like my mom, she would notice sometimes and she'd just be like, why are you always looking at the floor? I'm like, because if I look at someone in the eye, my soul burns. So either way, yeah, and so he had me like make eye contact with him, and like when I did, it was like, and I know it sounds like stupid, but like literally like time stopped. Like it was a windy day. The wind, like I couldn't hear the wind anymore. Like I could see the trees like in the distance or whatever, like they were still like moving, like the leaves rustling and stuff, but like I could not hear anything. The little like ringing in the ear, like that type of shit like happened. At some point in time when I like looked up at him and like, I was looking kind of like yonder, like behind him a little bit, like the colors had changed and it kind of looked like, I don't know, you know how outside looks, but it kind of started looking like this type shit. Like it was just kind of like more vivid colors, like a little bit like trippy. And it was just very strange. And I just kind of became like almost like hypnotized, but like not in a bad way. Like it wasn't like some weird like infatuate. Maybe it was. I don't know. Does infatuation mean like a longing or something for it? But like I don't know. Like I wasn't like on some like like limerence type shit. Like I wasn't like all lovelorn or whatever. But I just felt very like he had such a sense of calm and a sense of like, I don't know, I felt like I was like getting hugged by like a million marshmallows when I looked at him. Like, I don't know. That's the best way I can describe it. I'm sorry. It was lovely. It was a great experience. Either way, shit, my bad. I just kicked this. Okay. So, at some point, we just started talking, and it was just like normal kid conversation. So we're talking about cartoons and stuff and school, and like my whole like spirit had shifted at this point, right? Like I feel fine. I felt more calm than I have in like I don't know how long, because this shit was going on in my life for a minute. So and maybe not calm is not the right word. Maybe it's like relief. Like I just felt like when I said I felt like I was living in a pressure cooker, like I felt like whoosh, like just like someone just unplugged the bitch. Like it was good. Either way, so at what point a time, because he's like, oh, I want to push you on the swing. So I was like, okay, yeah, sure. So he gets behind me to like start pushing me, and then I noticed like he got these nasty ass scars up his, like I got nasty scars too, but he had like, they looked crazy. Like he had some crazy ass fucking scars. And so I was just like, whoa, like what happened to you? Like what happened to your arm and da da da. And he's just like telling me like he got cut, and I was just like, you got cut by what? Like like this isn't no like I was helping my mom cook in the kitchen type cut. Like you look like you got fucked up. So I was like, so what happened? And he's just telling me he got into like a bad fight. I was like, you don't look like you're a bad guy. You don't look like you're a fighter and stuff, all the shit. Like he wasn't like normal product of my environment hood guy. So I was just, or I didn't perceive that in like the 2 minutes that I knew him. But where were we? Okay, so yeah, she showed me the scars or whatever. I was just like, you don't look like you've been in fights like that. Like, not you, Dustin. You're an upstanding gentleman. You would never. So, yeah, he kind of starts, like, showing me, like, these other scars. Like, he's, like, lifting up his, like, pants leg a little bit. Like, he lift up his shirt. He's showing me all these, like, wounds and gashes and things. He's just like, yeah, I've been stabbed here. I got shot here. Da, da. And I'm just like, boy, you ain't never been shot before. Like, because I'm just like, who would just shoot a 12-year-old boy? Like... Because I'm like 9 and not really understanding that the world is fucked up. So, yeah, it was just a minute of him just like showing me all these scars and stuff. I was just like, okay, like, and at this point I just thought he was just like, just like fucking with me, because it's like, you're telling me that you got shot like several times, you got stabbed several times, you got da da da, all this other stuff, but you're not into no gang shit. So I was just like, okay, this is just bullshit. Like, are you trying to sound cool? Like, I didn't know. I didn't care at that point. I was just like, okay, sure. Like, maybe he just doesn't want to, like, tell, So, basically, I don't know. We just keep on, he's pushing me on the swing. We just keep on talking, enjoying our time together, da, da, da. And so then the street lights came on. I was like, shit, I got to get home because my mom will beat my ass. I don't. And when I say she'll beat my ass, I mean, like, she wasn't like an abusive, like physically abusive parent or nothing, but like, if you grew up, if you know, I'm just say that. So, yeah, I was like, but I want to like hang out. Like this is my first time ever seeing you. And you said you grew up here. Like we're best friends now. You can't leave me. So, we made plans to like meet back up, like the next day. And I was like, okay, yeah, sure. That sounds good. Cause I didn't want to, what was it? We were going to exchange numbers. That's what it was. But because this was like 2004 and I was like 9, cell phones, not a thing. And also, who the fuck just was walking around with pen and paper or like a pen or anything? Like I was fucking 9. So like, but I was like so adamant about seeing him again, because obviously, again, like we're best friends now. Like you understand me. Like I can't have these deep conversations with these little hood hoes. Like I'm sorry, like I didn't mean it like that, but like yeah. So I'm just like, like come back. Like you're my counselor, my confidant. So I was like, yeah, I might have to go with my dad tomorrow. So I'm like, and that's why I wanted to exchange numbers, because I'm like, I didn't want to like. I don't want to close my eyes. I don't want to fall asleep because I'd miss you, baby. And I didn't want to miss that nigga at all. So I was like, okay, I'm going to just come back like tomorrow. Tomorrow comes, right? And I go back to the park. My friends are back because, you know, they did their little hood trip thing the day before, whatever. They're all outside. It's not even just like the normal like ones that I hang out with. It was just like other kids from the other lots. They were out too. And I was just like, okay, great. And then I was just like, I told them, I was like, I'm not gonna like, cause I was a tomboy, and I was just like, oh, I'm not gonna do too much today, cause like I'm supposed to be hanging out with Dustin, da da da, and they're just like, Dustin, and I was just like, yeah, y'all know Dustin. He said he lived over in the da 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 lot, and I was, they're like, we never heard no Dustin, and I'm just like, okay, sure, that's fine. I didn't hear about him either, but he just said that he, you know, it's not like he just moved. He said he'd been here for a minute. So I'm like, somebody know who he is. Like, you know what I mean? So they thought I was just like on some bullshit, right? So we literally went on a manhunt to find Dustin. We're asking all the kids, all the little bad kids, like, you know, like the bad kids that just like know too much anyway, that just like, you just seen, I don't know. We go into all of them, go into the hood oracles, like, hey, have you seen so-and-so? It's like, no, I haven't sing him, but I seen that, never mind. And then he like trick you into this whole ass hotep conversation either way. So like I haven't seen Dustin, but have you seen the GMOs they try to make us eat in this food? Like either way. So yeah, we're just like walking around the entire neighborhood looking for this Dustin kid, right? So then one of my friends like told their cousin, and their cousin told their friends, and then we end up finding someone who knew of Dustin, right? And mind you, okay, so like how I always say like I couldn't do too much because my mom beat my ass, so I wasn't hanging out with like the hoodest of the hood kids, right? You know what I'm saying? Like the ones I was still hanging out, like their parents might have been a little bit more less strict than my mom, but they were not like, they weren't like super like badass kids. So I had to go into the trenches. I had to go to where my mother said, stay away from the niggas. You know what I mean? So so after traveling to the bowels of hell to find this young man, so yeah, we find a dude that knew of Dustin, right? So we go up to him. He's on a you know, little like a bike he stole from one of the neighborhood kids, because he's like, mind you, this man is anywhere between like 16 and 21, and he's on like a child's bike, right? So yeah, we're talking. He's just like, yeah, Dustin, yeah, I knew him, and da da da. He used to stay over. I'm like, used to, knew him. Why are you speaking in past tense, sir? Like, I just seen the man yesterday. And he's just like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I'm just like, nah, like I'm so for real, like dead ass, da 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 da. Well, we didn't say dead ass because it was 2004 and I grew up in Detroit, so it was probably like a nah mean or nah for real, nigga. Like I don't know, but like either way. So he's just like, yeah, no, you ain't seen Dustin. You probably seen somebody else, but like Dustin died like a couple years ago. And I was just like, what do you mean he died like years ago or whatever the fuck? And he's just like, yeah. So then he goes on to tell me this story about like, again, because these are like, you know, you could be in the world but not of the world. So like I might have been in this world but I wasn't of the world, so I didn't really know all the ins and outs of my hood. Was like, I didn't even really like think that I lived in a hood growing up, because of just how like my existence was, I don't want to say perfect, but like it was just very unbothered. Like there would be things that go on, like little hood politics and stuff, I was just not privy to because of like who my mom was, and I guess my age as well. Like there'd be certain times where I'm like trying to walk to my friend's house, but there's like the older like guys that are, you know, like doing like, I don't know, gangbanger shit or whatever hood niggas do. And then one of them will like see me and be like, nah, we taking care of some shit. You need to go back home, or you need to go to the other side of like 8 Mile is that way, like that type of shit. You know what I mean? So I'd be like, damn, all right. And it's like I had to listen to them, because if I didn't, they would just tell my mom, and then it's a whole thing. So having said all that, so I was talking to these guys, like I didn't even know them, like again, because my mom knew everybody, but I didn't even know these guys. So I'm like, if my mom doesn't even know like these people, I'm just like, you know what I mean? It's kind of sketch. It's a little rough. So either way, so dude ends up telling me this whole story about like Dustin was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, and the ops came and yeah, fucked him up. Like all the scars and shit that he was showing me were like, that's kind of what the dude solidified, right? In the story, he was like, yeah, they tied him up and they did this to him, they did that to him, they shot him a couple of times, they stabbed him, da da da. And it's kind of like, I was like, what the fuck? And I do remember like at one point in time, like it was just a lot going on, and I was very like, I don't know, you ever had those moments where like your reality shatters a little bit, and it's just like like someone literally takes like a hammer on your, and it's just like crack. Like and I remember I was like sitting down on like one of the park benches, and like my like friends or whatever, they were like trying to console me and stuff, and it's like, you know, we're trying to make reason because this was a very like, it doesn't make any sense, right? um and then some of my friends, like, they're, you know, we're kids, so we're just kind of like, oh my god, no, you talked to a ghost, that's so cool, da da da. The other ones are just like, ain't no thing as ghost, and da da, you probably just got confused, or you probably didn't like, he probably told you the wrong name, or he probably da da da, all this other shit. I'm just like, I don't know anymore, and I don't care. I just know that like like all that support that I felt was gone now. Like hold on, sorry, this is weird, I have not told this story, and like part of me wanted to like look it up as far as like to see if I could find like something about like this like little 12-year-old boy getting like fucked up like back in like '04, like '03, wherever, whenever this happened when I was a child. But then I don't know, I just felt like if I had to, I don't know, for one, it would make it too real for me, and for two, it's just kind of like, how much digging would that really be for like to find a child that got mistreated circa like '03, '04 in Detroit? Like, it's like every one of them. So it's just, I don't know, I just felt like a lot like to handle, even to this day as a more functioning adult. Like, I just, yeah. So I just felt very like, I felt crazy. I still feel crazy. I feel crazy telling this story now. So there was that, and then I remember I just like went home, slept it off, da da da, and the next day everybody was just back to normal. Like, and when I mean back to normal, it was literally like, we didn't talk about ghosts anymore, we didn't talk about this, that, and the third. They weren't concerned about like, and not that I needed them to be concerned necessarily. I don't know, I would just have felt more comfortable, or I would have felt more like mentally okay if if people actually didn't like, it's like they just forgot, like they just forgot the entire events of yesterday. It was just like memory, like slate, like wiped. Yeah, so that fucked me up. And it still kind of fucks me up. And since, I don't know, like again, like this entire like fall season, he's just been on my mind a lot, and I've been doing meditations and like tapping in and like figuring some story for another time. There might be a part 2 to Dustin, either way. Yeah, that's it. I guess if you guys want more detail, let me know. I can, if questions, comments, concerns, leave them down in the comment section. I will definitely answer them. I know this was like a very weird story. If you feel like it was bullshit, I definitely want to know. Like, please leave that. And why do you think it's bullshit? I know like the people who believe it, like, it's one of those like baddies who get it. But yeah, so like necromancers that get it, but like, I don't know, it was just, it's very intense situation for me. Still kind of is very sensitive topic. So yeah, I thank you for allowing me to be this vulnerable and to like open up and stuff. I definitely feel a lot more relief, I don't know, since like getting this off my chest. I feel like maybe this was for somebody else. I don't think it was for me. So if you know, had conversations with ghosts that were like life transformational or whatever, let me know that too. You're not crazy, or maybe we're all crazy together. But if we're all crazy together, isn't that normal? Just saying. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the story time. I'll get more story times out. The plan, I said I wasn't going to say the goal, but either way, the plan was that I was going to have more story times up until like leading to my birthday, and then I was going, I don't know, figure something out around then. Either way, yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Shout out to Dustin. You know, pour one out for Dustin if you have a chance today, or like leave some candy out for Dustin, or, you know, candy emojis or shot emojis in the comments for Dustin, because he was a real one. Anyway, yeah. What was the outro again? It's been a while. I want to redo all of this shit anyway. So learn and grow, growth with 2 F's. Bye.